here today with I Am Wambui, content creator, storyteller, explorer. But what does that really mean? Who is she? Who is I Am Wambui? Allow me to begin with, who do you believe you are? 1,000 years from today, a person will open a history book and turn to I Am Wambui. What will they read?
Wow, such a great question. 1,000 years, wow, gosh. Have you ever thought about 1,000 years from now? What will you be doing? Where will you be? Of course, you'll be long gone. But then what you did will live long through the generations. For example, if like you have like a children and they carry on your name, even though you'll be forgotten at some point. But then nowadays we all know, like with the digitalization of everything, like yeah, there will be history books and all of that. So for me, I think they will read a story of persistence. They will read a story of victory. They will be inspired just to see all the odds that I Am Wambui, who is me, fought just to get to where they ever get. So I know, like with the history book, 1,000 years from now, I'll be long gone. And even if I have a generation, they will be long gone. But then there will be the footsteps and the journey that I've walked even so far will always reflect. So someone, if they read my history book, they're gonna see someone who was born to parents who did not have, or they just tried to give me the best what they had, and the best could mean nothing. But someone will just see someone who was born to parents who did not have, parents who are not able to get an education, parents who are not able to get the best shelter, parents who are not able to go after their dreams. And I think they're gonna read a story of a daughter to parents who maybe their dreams at some point they were cut short by parenthood and all of that. And what is gonna be inspiring to them when they read my history book is how I was able to accomplish these things, just coming from a family where no one has accomplished these things, like getting an education. Actually, literally, what will be more surprising is that, like, my parents were not able to get an education, and then for me, I was able to get actually the best. I went to the best. Okay, the primary school, I went to the school where everyone was going, but then to high school, I went to a good high school. To uni, I went to a very good university, and I was always passing, and I had everything that I needed. I was never told to go home for school fees because my school fees was always paid. Even in uni, I was always, my everything was always sorted. So they're gonna read of a story of someone who really wanted education. For me, let me tell you, I used to even cry if I'm like, I'm not gonna go to school. I'm like, then what am I gonna do? Because for me, education was the only thing that I could do to change my story, just to be seen in a different way. So the person who is gonna read my history book, first of all, the education part, I would want them to read the education part, how I got educated, how my parents struggled to take me to school, to give me the best, even if in terms of shelter, clothing. Yeah, and then the best could mean nothing, it could mean average, it could mean miserable, all of those things. So I think that is the first thing that they are going to read. And then the other thing that they are going to read is Wambui went to places that people didn't think she's gonna go. Wambui did things that they were not being done by the people around where she came from, but then she decided not to be incited or not to be influenced by the society's expectation. So they are gonna read a story of a girl who decided to make her own path. They will read of a story of a girl who was determined from the word go, and nothing, not even what the society said, when she should get married, when she should have children, all of those things, they are gonna be at her best time. And that is what I want the society to read, or even people in the future generations to come. That is what I want them to read. I want them to read a story of persistence. I want my story to be inspiring. I want them to know like they can always get an education, even if it's difficult, they can keep going, and it doesn't matter where you come from. You can always achieve what you want if you put all your energy, all your mind, soul and heart to it. I think you can accomplish everything. So I think I answered that question. So they're gonna read about persistent, they're gonna be inspired, they're gonna read about education, because I just plan to further my education. I don't plan to just stop it at that. So they're gonna read a story of someone who kept going and who kept informing herself, learning languages, learning a lot of things, because they're not gonna believe that I could speak, like at the moment I can speak 5 languages fluently. So I think by the time the history book will be turned, I'm gonna have maybe like 10 languages. So it's just going to be a story of persistent, a story of keeping going, a story of victory. Yeah, so that is what they are gonna read.
Fascinating take. To be honest, I almost envy those young people of the future finding inspiration in you. But now, as a young woman forging a path forward, how do you maintain your focus? What is your mantra, if you will?
Oh, thank you, Lon, for the question. So, my mantra is, if at any point I'm doing something and I'm over there, that is all that I need. So basically the mantra is like, I'm everything that I need. If I need to get something done, as far as personally, if I need something to get done for me, or this is something that I need to get done, as far as I'm over there, I don't care if it's a project that I'm doing with people, I don't care if it's something that is personal that I want anyone to help me. My mantra is, as far as I'm over there, everything is okay, as far as I'm available. So for me, it's as far as I'm showing up for myself, everything is okay. Because to expound on that, like I believe like I can do everything. That is what I believe, even if I know like I might need some help. So my mantra is, as far as I'm available, as far as I'm over there, as far as I'm not dead, I can do it. So that is my mantra, and it's really very helpful, especially when you think like you want specific people to be helping you out. Maybe you want a family member to do something for you, to connect you to a particular position or whatever. So my mantra is, as far as I'm over there, it's okay with me. So that thing helps me not to depend on anyone. Like I can depend on people who have demonstrated that they are gonna be there for me. But then that doesn't mean like depending on those people 100%, because the only person that I can depend on is myself. Because if anything, whether I'm mad, whether I'm happy, whether it's Sunday, whether it's Wednesday, the only person who is with me is myself. So as far as I'm over there, everything is okay. So that is my mantra. I think you can decide to borrow it, because I think it's a very nice one, especially if you're someone who finds especially if you're someone who expects people to help you and then you get disappointed when they do not. So that is something that you should remind yourself every day. As far as you're yourself, you're available, everything is gonna get done and you're gonna be okay. So that helps you to stop depending on people and not to put expectation on people and put all of those expectations on yourself. Yeah, so that is my mantra.
Very enlightening and quite on target. If there's anyone I can ever count on, it is definitely me. Let us hope this day never arrives, but if you were given 6 months to live, what would be your final experience?
Wow, that is such a question. So if I was given 6 months to live, what would my final experiences be? If personally, if I was given 6 months to live, first of all, I would want to travel all over the world. And I think my interest would be mostly be like I would want to go to London in United Kingdom. I would also want to go to Canada. Also, I would love to see Rome. So how I would divide the time is 1 month. So I write down the countries that I want to go to, which is London, and then I want to go to Manchester, that is also in UK. I also want to go to Canada, and then I would want to see Rome, and then I would also want to visit Paris. So I think two months I would dedicate them to traveling to all these destinations that I want to see. So 2 months I would dedicate them to that, and then so I will be remaining with 4 months, and then 4 months, let me tell you, 4 months, what would I do for 4 months? I would also want to have like maybe a whole month to experience nature, meaning I would just be, so maybe this month like I go and experience what it is like to sleep in caves. Then I would go to like the Maasai houses, the Manyatas, and then after that I would what else would I want to experience? I would want to like just go and swim in the ocean for like a whole 2 weeks, you know. And then I would love to go inside a forest, have a bonfire going, like roast some meat over there in the forest. I think if I was given 6 months, it would never again be about me chasing dreams. Now I would start chasing what I want to achieve. Okay, you know, sometimes you chase your dreams so that you can be able to afford what you want to do. But then if I was given 6 months, I would stop chasing the dreams and I will start doing what I have been chasing these dreams so that I can be able to do. So like I would be all over, like flying wherever I want to go. I would go to Bali. I would make sure I go to Bali. I would travel to London. I would go to Manchester. I would go to Canada, and then I would go and see Paris, and then I would see Rome. Then I would love to swim in the ocean for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever time. Literally, I would just love to do that. Also, I would love to experience the forest, to roast meat. Also, maybe I would want to like taste raw meat and just to know the people who were there before fire was invented, how they used to live. Yeah, so that is what I would do. But then I think I would be fulfilled. First of all, also I would also want to have like a very, very luxurious house. But then I'm only supposed to live for 6 months, but I would make sure my last days would be in a paradise type of situation. And yeah, I don't know if like you're only left with 6 months to live, what you think. But then I think it depends with where you're at in life. Like right now I don't have children, so it would mostly be about me. But also I would love to spend like my last days with my partner, but then the problem would be maybe he wants to go to another destination, maybe his dream destination is different than mine, so I think we would go separate ways, but then the last days would spend together. Also, if I was given 6 months to live, I would want to make sure like I have maybe those people who matter to me, my partner, my parents, they have the best. So I would want to know if I go or if I die, they're having the best life. There's no struggling, there's no tears. Even if there's tears, it's tears of joy. I would love them to live in luxury, you know. So that is what I would do. Yeah, I think so, because even if I said like anything different, I think that is what would make me feel at peace when I die. Yeah, if I answered your question.
Oh, yes, indeed you have. Again, let us hope that day never comes. But should it? It sounds like a grand adventure. Let us broaden our horizons a bit and focus on a much larger target, the world. Everyone has their own ideas of what would make the world a better place. What is I Am Wamboe's idea?
So, what would Wamboe's idea of what would make the world a better place be? So, I think for me, first of all, what would make the world a better place is when everyone respects it, like everyone, irrespective of like your race, irrespective of the language you speak, irrespective of the physical features. So when everyone respects each other, so I think for me, what if I was the one who was to be asked what would make the world a better place, is like when everyone would look like everyone. So if like let's say we are choosing to be, so let's say I don't want to come off, but then my idea is if like all people look like everyone, like let's say even if you let's say if we choose to be Asians, so the whole world, everyone is Asian. So that means you wouldn't like see the difference in the other person. So that way you would be able to like just respect each other and then just see each other to be like no more, because sometimes maybe we stare at each other depending on the color of our skin. We treat each other according to that. So my idea of a better world is when everyone looks similar. So that would bring respect. Yeah, despite everything. Also, my idea of a better world is a world where everyone speaks the same language. So we wouldn't have all the other languages that bring like divisions. We would only have one language, and that language everyone speaks. So my idea of a better world is when everyone looks alike and then they speak the same language. Also, my idea of a better world is a world where like all the places look similar. So even if you chose to live where you are, even if you choose to go to a different place, it's just similar, like the weather, the roads, the houses, it's just similar. So wherever you choose to stay, you just 100% sure that you're not missing out. So that is what my idea of a better place would be. So also my idea of a better place or a better world will be like a world where maybe this is just my idea, don't critique me. So I think for me also it would be like a place where everything is not about like cash. And so my idea of a better world is like where you can exchange what you have with the other person. Like let's say I have like this biro and you have a book. Maybe I have like 10 of these biros and you have like let's say 5 books, and I need 5 books, and you need 5 biros. So we exchange, because you don't need the books and I do, and I don't need the biros and you do, so we exchange. So that is how we do the barter trade. I think that was really a cool idea, because now if you don't have cash to buy anything, then automatically you can't be able to purchase anything. So yeah, so my idea of a better world is where everyone looks similar, they speak the same language, and then there is no purchasing something using cash. So it's just like barter trade, so we can just exchange what you have and what I have. So also my idea of a better world is a world where it's not overpopulated. Okay, that is just me, where it's not overpopulated and everyone who is in the world is like cautious not to overpopulate, because I feel like most of the problems that we are having and we are facing is because like we as a people, we just live without like thinking about the well-being of the whole world. So when you do something, so my idea of a better world is a world where when you do something as an individual, you know, like is affecting it's affecting everyone. Like when you add the population, everyone is being affected. So when you stop adding the population, everyone is being affected. So my idea of a better world is where like everyone has found the balance, so that like we do not have people who do not have opportunities, and that way we would be able to balance. So everyone would be occupied somewhere, they would have a job, so they would be able to cater for their needs. So that would mean like everyone would have like something to do, because there are enough jobs. The people are just according to the jobs. Like let's say we have like 10 billion jobs, and we have 10 billion people who are seeking for jobs. So you see that balances out and it cuts out. So the issue of unemployment would not be a problem anymore. So the idea of a better world is a world where like nobody is struggling, everyone is equal. No, there is no people who have like excess and others are down there struggling. So it would be a balanced world. So in that way we wouldn't have thieves, we wouldn't have like people who try to rob others. Like it would just be a peaceful world. But I know that is in my dreams, it's not in reality.
As fantastic as that sounds, I cannot deny, that sounds like a fantastic world to live in. But since that's not the world we live in, let us get back to reality. If you would you share with us your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is to die before accomplishing everything that I want to accomplish. I would be so disappointed if like life didn't give me a chance to live, just to execute my ideas and what I have in my brain, because some of the ideas that I have, they have to take time so that they can be able to come to life. So my greatest fear is just not to accomplish my dreams. I remember when I used to be in high school, I wanted to go to university so bad, and of course you had to pass and to get a good grade to go to university. So my greatest fear was if I didn't hit that target, like going to uni, I think I would be disappointed in myself forever, and I would have to redo the exam so that I can get a chance to go to uni. So I think for me, my greatest fear is just to lose anything, even if it's anything like the minor test, anything that is so minor can change my mood. If I don't win in that, if I don't like accomplish what I wanted to accomplish when I started out, I just feel so discouraged. I just feel like I didn't put in the work. Yeah, so my greatest fear is just to not have a chance to do everything that I want to do. Yeah, I think that is my greatest fear. That is my greatest fear. Also because like I really want to change life, I want to touch lives, I want to touch people with my skills, what I've learned over the years. I want to tell people my experiences. Maybe they might help them out. I want my experiences to give hope to people and all of that. So if I am not able to do those things, I think I'm gonna be very disappointed, and that is my greatest fear. I can, even talking about it, I can just feel my heart like racing and all of that, because that is my greatest fear, not going after my dreams and not accomplishing them. Yeah, personally I'm someone who is like self-driven, and I can go out, I like to chase my dreams, but then at some point you'll try something, you start doing it, then halfway you just feel discouraged, and like, then what will keep me going and from not quitting is just to think that I don't like trying things, I don't like not trying things, and also I don't like trying things and losing. So everything is connected. So my greatest fear is losing, and I know that is not a good place to be. Yeah, because it's not they say it's not losing, but then for me my greatest fear is to try something and it doesn't work out. I think I answered the question. So that is according to me. I don't want critics.
I promise you, no judgments. But I will say this, you put a lot on yourself, although you seem like someone who can handle a lot. But that is from the life you did not choose. If you could choose, would you keep the life you have today?
To some extent, yes, because this is what makes me who I am, and the person who I am today, my value system, my beliefs, my everything is maybe as a result of my childhood and the life that I was given, even if I didn't have to choose. Because you know, this life you don't, especially when you're a child, you don't get to choose what type of life that you're gonna have. The only thing that you can choose is later on. So if I was given a chance to choose, I think no, I wouldn't choose the life that I have. Right, I wouldn't choose the life. I would choose a different type of life, because but then I think that would change who I am. Right now I would be a totally different person, because I would me personally, I love I like softness, I like peace, I like not having to I just like having things without having to feel pain, having to cry, having to experience that push and pull. I like life that way. So that would mean that like I would have a very different childhood, I would have very different experiences. Even as a young adult, I would have totally different experiences. So, and that means I would be a totally different person. So if I'm asked, I would choose a totally different life. But I agree that that would make me a very different person, very different. Because actually I was telling my friend the other day, like the type of people you are exposed to when you are a child, the religion that maybe your parents were attending when you are a child, the belief, the type of fears they sold to you. You see, like how we usually tell a kid, like, oh, those ants are gonna bite you. So that is a fear that we instill into them. And if people from a different childhood, maybe they are not scared with those things, maybe their parents have a different way of scaring them, a different way of, you know, everything is different. How they talk to their children, how they talk to them about their belief system, God. The other day I was telling a friend, like, if you were born in a Muslim family, you would be a Muslim. If you were born in a Hindu family, you would be Hindu without question. So if you're born Christian, sometimes you just find yourself becoming Christian if you don't question the beliefs and why you believe in whatever you believe in. So I think I would choose a totally different life. But then that would mean that right now there would be one boy, because I would still be the same person, but the behaviors, what I stand for, everything would be different. Yeah, so I would have to see if like I want to have that luxury, that peace, that everything, or I want to have the childhood that I have and the type of life that I have had over the years, and then just be me. So people like to say that if they were told to choose, that they would just choose the life that they have. They wouldn't change a single thing. But personally, I would change a lot of things to the best. Yeah, I wouldn't lie to myself. I would change a lot of things, because sometimes the things that happen to you and you are like, gosh, if I would change a thing, this thing, I would change it 100%. So, but then I wouldn't, first of all, I wouldn't change the way I look. I would love to look the way I look, but I would love to change the type of life that I have and experiences. Yeah, so yeah, that is the answer to that question.
Thank you for that response. I appreciate it. And I believe your viewers are going to appreciate your directness and honesty. However, since we cannot change that which has already happened, tell us, what is your biggest regret?
What is your biggest regret in life? So far, I don't have regrets, because what I would regret if I was the one who was to be asked, I would regret having chaos. I would regret not having like something that is just peaceful and all of that. But then that is not my position to be in, because I think like we all know, like just by any human being, a kid, even adults, for them to exist, they had to be other adults who had to make the decision. So I would be lying to myself if I told myself that I regret. I think I don't regret anything, because from the point where like, because the things that what I would regret is if I didn't work hard in school, because that is the only thing that I could do, or if maybe I made a bad decision and a decision that changed my life forever, that one I would regret. But so far so good. I don't regret anything that I've done, and maybe I have lost, or I didn't get the results that I wanted. I don't regret them. I actually learned from them. Yeah, so I don't have regrets. Yeah, because the things that I feel like I'm not comfortable with, they're things that were never in my control in the first place. So how would I regret something that I didn't have control even in the first place? So I think I don't have regrets. I think I don't have regrets. I only have things that I want to do, because I cannot regret not doing them by now, because I didn't have the chance earlier on. But then now I have the chance, I'm gonna do them. So I don't have regrets.
A life with no regrets. Now that is a life well lived. An in-depth look at I Am Wamboe has truly proven itself to be an entertaining journey. Your thoughts, your opinions, your basic world views are genuinely and uniquely you. I appreciate your time, your truths, and your wisdom. But before we sign off, are there any final thoughts you'd like to share with your viewers?
So looking back at my journey, I carry both pride and pain. I'm so proud of where I am right now. I'm proud of the journey that I had to go through, especially I'm so proud of my academics. I'm so proud to be like a degree holder. Nothing will ever be that. So I'm so proud of that. Yeah, so I don't regret anything. The journey that I've had, there have been lessons and all of that. But if I'm just being honest with you, if I was told to choose a life, if I was given a chance to choose a life, then I would choose a totally different life. Not because I regret the journey, but then because I know how much I had to survive just to have what I have right now. So I don't regret anything. As I said, I don't regret anything. I'm so proud of everything because I know every step, every struggle shaped me. So while I choose to move forward, while I choose to focus and to dream big, while I choose to keep going, to keep focusing on my dreams, to keep working, to keep like my focus and to look forward, I cannot forget about the journey, and I have to like keep choosing like a different experience. I have to keep choosing getting better, and I have to keep making different decisions for myself that are gonna give me a different outcome. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you can comment down below, like just tell me, did you have, what kind of experience did you have, what did you see your parents go through when you're getting an education, the kind of life you had for the child. Just comment and say, if you are given a chance to choose a life, would you choose the life that you have right now, or would you just go for, would you choose like me, would you go for a totally different kind of life? So let us engage in the comments. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, just support me, and I will really appreciate. So until next time, peace, bye.